That's right, we back, y'all. The replay. We had our little mini vacation, but we're back. We got a lot of things to talk about. But really, one main thing, and everybody know what that is. We're talking about the Sonya Massey murder or self-defense this evening, live right here on the Replay Sports Culture Show. So let's get into it. Let's go. Hold on tight. We're about to do this. Welcome again to another edition of the Replay where we're still trying to make your day. I'm your host, Jabril A. Rashad. I want to thank y'all for joining us this evening and coming to the stage. It's my co-host, my brother from another mother, Mr. Daryl Alexander the Great. Good evening to you, my brother.
What's up? What's up?
It's almost like we've been on a mini vacation.
Yeah.
We needed it though, man. But listen, y'all, before we get into this topic we want to discuss this evening, be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and the share notification button while we're still growing the channel. We have over 155 subs right now, but we still need your blessings, your help. So help us out on that. So let's get into this. DA, we got a lot to cover with it, man, and may not be on here too long. And for you all who are asking, where is TJ Action Jackson? He may try to join us. I know he's doing his thing with his kids this evening. So big shout out to the homie, man, with his children this evening. But DA, we got to talk about it because everybody's been talking about this, man. Yeah. And unless you've been under a rock somewhere, much have been said. I kind of, wanted to kind of wait a little bit too, because I know there's a lot of information that was going to be coming out. And that's why I named this evening, Sonya Massey murder or self-defense, because there was some new information that was coming out. Now, I have my opinion about it, and we're going to discuss that, man. Before we do all of that, DA, you got anything you want to segue into real quick? Because I'm going to put these videos up, and we got to replay the thing all over again, man.
Let's see it. Let's roll.
Okay. All right, so let's recap a little bit what happened. This actually took two days after 4th of July, as we pretty much know by now. And of course, they released the video, the body cam of the police officer, Sean Grayson, former police officer now, that is, who did this senseless murder, senseless killing. So let's kind of recap what happened that evening, and just kind of just dissect this thing, DA.
All right.
Of course, this is the knock at the door. I know many of us have seen this video here. I'm gonna try my best to try to fast forward some of it if I can, because I know we've seen this and get to the part we want to talk about. But it was so much to this video. In case you didn't see it, his partner had already circulated the house, did a full inspection in the backyard and all of that. But you can see right here, man, he just agitated.
Yeah.
She's taking her time coming.
Are you coming to the door or not?
Sheriff's office, one you called. Oh, we heard you. You called us. Okay. So what'd you hear?
Somebody just outside my house.
Is this your car over here?
Please.
Is this your car over here? Oh.
Please,
That's not your black car in the driveway? Oh, well, we checked your yard, we walked around the whole block, we didn't see anybody. Right.
Okay, I just want to put that up because it showed that he was already, irritated.
Yeah.
At the knock at the door, are you coming to the door or not?
Yes.
So you can see he was already agitated. And
yes.
He was irritated from the mere fact that she come to the door. She's a tiny little black woman. And I think he had a lot of prejudging going on from the minute he engaged her in conversation. But what's your take on it?
Yeah, he was hot right off the jump. Already like in the wrong frame of mind. You coming to the door, what is sheriff department, the one that you call? Like, come on, man. Who goes to somebody's door like that? You already mentally off. You're already in the wrong frame of mind to deal with anything.
I certainly I certainly agree. So let's take another look. Now that she invites him in, which there's a lot of things, man. I was just, man, just like constitutional rights. You actually call death to your house. That was the thing that got me. The night before you go to bed, you make a phone call, and in the process of making this phone call, you don't even know that you're calling death to your house.
That you calling your assassin.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So, and it was a lot of things I felt like, had she been in her proper state of mind, she may have or could have asserted, because inviting them in and showing her ID, I
don't know why she's having to show ID.
Well, we're gonna talk about that in a second, because I'm gonna repurpose a guy's video. It's the reason why I said I wouldn't even, honestly, DA, I wouldn't even get to the part, the topic this evening of murder or self-defense, if I hadn't seen this other individual's show, which we don't really repurpose anybody's stuff, other shows here, but this was important because he was able to slow it down and so forth. So we're gonna discuss it about it, but we're gonna show the part right here now that when he's engaging her inside her property.
What's up?
I got some paperwork. Can you grab that Bible, please?
Yeah. Hey, I just need your name so we can get out of here. Was there any damage previous to your car?
Previous, yeah. It was.
Yeah, what was the damage?
A dent, I believe.
Well, what about windows?
Oh, it was something that happened earlier.
Okay, perfect. What is your last name? Should not think about your last name. You're not in trouble. I just need to get text.
Massey.
Huh?
Massey.
Yeah. Do you have an ID? That'd make things so much easier. I just driver's license will do, and I'll get out of your hair.
I want to show y'all my paperwork.
What paperwork? What paperwork?
I got some paperwork.
Well, just get your ID.
Well, let's get your ID first, and then
one task at a time here.
Okay.
Here, grab your ID for me.
Okay.
Your ID, one task at a time. So let's do an ID, and then you can dig around for your paperwork.
I don't know where my ID is.
you just got a stack right there, maybe.
1 second.
Now you see the signal that he gave his partner to go in the kitchen.
We don't need a fire over here.
Alright.
You say we're having a fire over here.
Okay.
Huh?
Where you going?
Wait for your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I was rebuking you in the name of Jesus.
Huh?
Rebuke you in the name of
You better fucking not. I swear to God, I'll fucking shoot you in your fucking face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the fucking pot! Drop the fucking pot!
Shots fired,
Shots fired! Shots fired! Drop the fucking pot! Bring emails now. We got a headshot wound to the female. Headshot wound to the female. 1078. Fuck.
I was on. I'm gonna go get my kit.
Headshot, dude. Make sure you're done. You can go get it, but that's a headshot. God damn it.
God, fuck.
Dude, I'm not taking fucking boiling water to the fucking head. Hey, look, it fucking came right to our feet, too. God damn it.
Fuck. God damn it.
You good?
I'm good. You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Let her fucking just. God, that's not what you do, man.
Fuck.
You good? Alright. Fuck. Well, what else do we do? I'm not taking hot boiling water to the fucking face, and it already reached us.
They got a 52 in route?
Yeah, 1078.
So I'll pause it right there. So DA, there was a lot of things, as I stated before, that she could have done had she been totally of sound mind. First and foremost, she has the right to remain in the safety of her own house, her own persons, as they say, her own dwelling. Now, I'm gonna show a video, like I say, in a few here, because it tells another part of it. But I still draw my conclusion. How I draw my conclusion. But it is an interesting observation because when you're talking about the court of law and the trial that they're going to have to put on, and how the defense is going to try to twist and bend it, we already get it. We already understand what's pretty much what's going to take place. But I want people to be able to see for themselves the other side when you go to court, when you go to trial. Go ahead,
Yeah.
DA.
Let me say this, even before you show that. It does not matter what this dude shows on his video. I don't care how he slows it down, and that's it. The whole thing is just wrong on every level, and that's why he was fired a few days, 10, 11 days after. It wasn't, it was, and I'm only saying that because I've seen white people point guns at the cops and don't get shot. I've seen white guys shoot at the police and still can be captured, murder people and still taken in, like mass murderers brought out peacefully in cuffs. This lady called him to the house. It wouldn't have mattered, even if she had said, I'll pour this, you know what I'm saying? Even if she had faked like she was going to throw the water on him, or her intention, if he hadn't have told her to go get the pot and she said, I'm going back here to get this pot of hot water to toss on you, still no reason to shoot her in the face. He stepped toward her to get a better shot. That's, if you stepping towards somebody, I don't think your life is in danger. And last I heard, a pot of water ain't ever killed nobody. So I don't know why his, and he's the one that got the other guy all up in arms. Like, he's stepping toward her. The other cop can't even really see. He can't even really see what's going on. He just know he's drawing his gun. They drawing their guns on a lady with a pot of water, man. So the video is probably gonna show it. It's gonna slow it down and show her do what? She's got water. She's got water in a pot.
Right.
15, 20 feet away. Like, you see, with all of this stuff in between y'all, she got junk 6 foot 5 feet high on the counter. What I mean, I don't understand, man. And that's just the difference between they could go to a white woman's house 20 times and that same situation happened, wouldn't even probably ever even draw a gun. Guaranteed, wouldn't even have to come to that. It would have been like, just put the pot down. Hold up. No, man. He should have picked up that it was something mentally wrong with her to start with.
Right.
No reason to like go in and like, oh, I ain't taking hot water to the face. Man, you 6'6" and you're back 20 feet. How you gonna get water to your face? Come on, man. But yeah, I'll wait till you show the video to see what I'm supposed to see.
Well, you know something? I think after the shooting, his whole disposition, his inhumane feelings regarding another person's life.
Yes.
Because he told, you can hear him say, when his partner was talking about going to get his medical kit and all that, he said, like, what's the use? It was a headshot. Then he called up, the B word. He was telling this to other officers, and even when and we'll see that in a second, when the lieutenant came on the scene, he asked him, where's the gun? He was looking for the gun, had the light, and where's the gun? He said, no, it was, she tried to throw hot water on him, right? This is what he said. But this is wrong on so many levels. But I want to show after he shot her and his partner began to try to apply aid to Miss Sonya Massey. God
you
rest
can
her
tell.
soul.
You can tell he knew he messed up, and then he tried to say, "Well, I got to justify this." They knew they messed up.
Yeah, because this is body cam 1, which is on his partner, and so his partner is responding to like, what's taking him so long? But check this out.
Come on. Where's he at? Come on. She's still gasping a little bit. We got any mess coming? You want to hand me another rag up there? Up there, to your right. Right there. Is there anything you can do before? Yeah. Alright, I'm not even away from that stuff then. You want to run down real quick? Nope, not yet. Alright. House is clear. She was the only one. Where's the gun? No, she had boiling water and came at me with boiling water. You shot her? Yeah. She said she was going to rebuke me in the name of Jesus and came out with boiling water. That's what all this is. I'm standing right here. Alright. That's where she's landed.
So as you can hear his partner saying she's still grasping. And then he, prior to that, he said, where is he at? It's like he's taking his, nonchalant time and trying to rush. He knew exactly what he had done. And what, to me, at some point, I think it was premeditated. I think he began to escalate, prejudging her. They're already looking in her room. First and foremost, you don't have a search warrant. You all are not there for that. You're not there for that. But we're going to continue. Because again, that showed to me a blatant, even though I know how the defense is going to try to twist it
that's their job.
muddy the waters. Huh?
That's their job.
Yeah, they're going to try to twist it and muddy the waters, right? But the deal of it is, if you talk about the inhumane thing in terms of what is the procedures and the training after a victim have been shot, he didn't even try to render aid. He didn't try to do anything. His whole disposition tells me that you started judging this woman, and then you had somewhere in there it began to be premeditated. Because I think he just had it in his mind.
Yes.
That he was going to do exactly that. He said it, he announced it, and then he did exactly what he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
And so I want to I'm gonna get to this other video in just a second here, because we're gonna get into how in the court proceedings, the things that the manipulation and the subtle thing that they try to do. But I want to show this video right here simply because, when tragic happen like this from both sides of the equation, I think we're evolving to a point to where a lot of people, man, they looked at this video. A lot of people. It's one guy, I didn't get a chance to record this video. It was a white guy, as a matter of fact. But these are some of the things that the white people are saying in regards to this shooting.
All cops are bad. It's because I work with them. It's because I work with them enough to know that the good cops are so few and far between, that the shit like Sonya Massey's case is so unsurprising to me, so deeply unsurprising to me, and yet still made me physically ill when I watched that video. Sonya called the cops herself because she thought there was an intruder at her home. They then went to her home, started questioning her, entered her home, were suspicious of her. Mind you, she had called them, asked her for her identification, and then when they noticed that she was in the middle of cooking dinner with a pot of boiling water on the stove to make pasta, they said, hey, can you go attend to that pot of boiling water? And then when she did that, they 6 times. They fired 6 times into her head. As a nurse, when I say that racism is a public health crisis, I mean it. And when I say racism is a public health crisis and a lot of the perpetrators are other healthcare workers, I mean it. Because the amount of healthcare workers that I genuinely don't think even understand that there's an issue with our policing system in this country is so upsetting. But it's the truth. They fired at her 6 times.
You have heard the name Sonya Massey. You have watched her execution. You have seen the injustice. And you watched it all by policeman body cams. Now what happened to her was wrong. She called 911 thinking there was a prowler. She was calling for help. And they executed her. Now we've seen it all.
For the rest of his life. She called them for help. They had no business being in her home, and she posed no threat at any point during the video. This was another completely unjustified murder that we would have had to take the word of an officer for if the body camera footage wasn't on, which it almost wasn't. And I really wanted to stay on track in this video, but it's the same conversation over and over. Why are body cameras not on the entire shift? This I don't understand. Is it like we don't have money for the storage of the data? Is it that we don't have money for backup batteries? Like, this is the only job that you can take human life and keep your job. This is the only job on the planet that has that level of power, yet we let them walk around freely. If you worked in a Ross, those cameras are on all day. It doesn't matter if the store goes empty. Like, we have money for food. We don't have money to solve this very specific problem. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. I couldn't agree anymore. It doesn't make sense.
This was the worst one I've ever seen, Jabril.
Yeah, and let's talk about it, man, because I know I was looking at some statistics recently. You know, when we talk about Tatiana that got killed over in Fort Worth, Sandra Bland, who died in the custody of a state trooper, what's her name? Tiana Brown. I hope I'm not messing up her name. Taylor.
Tiana Taylor.
Was, serving a search warrant or whatever the case may be, and gunned her down. Time and time again, we've seen basically the assassination of African American people, and yet laws that should be in place to govern certain rogue police officers. Because again, as I shared with somebody before, they did a movie called The Purge, which showed society being able to do whatever they want to do for a 24-hour period. We have to have checks and balances, because if we don't have checks and balances, then what's going to happen? You're going to have anarchy and chaos and tyranny, and you won't have no real civilized society. But what they have to do, I think, they need to allow, and as crazy as this may sound, but I'm just saying, if you can get certain police officers to work a football game, to work a baseball game, to work a basketball game, you can get certain police officers to work certain neighborhoods that they're familiar with. These officers, man, that come into the African American community, man, and don't know how to de-escalate, but they want to accelerate a situation like that. This woman should still be here. I know God never makes any mistakes, but it's just some things that are so senseless, man, because Sonya Massey should still be here. And it's just heart-wrenching to know you had an officer who already had this predisposed disposition to go and do what he did. Because again, I agree with you 100%, DA. Even if she was going to toss the water, you knew during the conversation that she wasn't in her right mind. You could have stepped back. You could have gave her warnings like, don't do that. You could have, what about your stun gun? You're opposing 6'3.5", 230-some pound guy cowering over a little 5'2", 5 foot petite woman. You mean to tell me you couldn't defend yourself? And that's what infuriates me, man. These officers who just, they don't know how to police our community, man. They just don't know how to police our community. And so, again, there are other people, other ethnic groups who are definitely speaking out.
Oh, yeah, right.
What I want to turn to, DA, I want to show, because I got to do this here, play angel advocate, simply because we know that the case will be going to trial. And I got that for you, DA. If you heard that or not, but I'll play that song, not on this show. I'll play that another time for you. I've been working. I'm gonna tell you, I've been working for you, my brother. But I want to play this video here, because this is a repurposed video. Let me give you, this is repurposed, but let's get into the court mindset of this thing, right? Because we know how sometimes things can be twisted.
Clarify that and make sure it was clear for people. Do I think that the officer's decorum and after what he said after the shooting was good? I think it was terrible. Judgment was this. If a person is making a threatening motion to potentially throw hot water on them, they could retreat, but then it gets dicey. Because if she got the pot and she got her mind made up, she's gonna douse you with it, and you go turn to try to run out of the door and she run and throw that hot water on you, I mean, that's gonna be, in both of these big dudes trying to go through the front door, you can end up getting hurt versus addressing her right away. I would have taken more of an approach to say, ma'am, look, we don't want no problems with you. Please don't do it. Don't do it. I would have been I would give it a nice approach. But I see some officers, they take a little more blunt approach, which works sometimes. I just wouldn't have done it in this situation. You know, being very straightforward and saying, look, if you do that, I'm gonna shoot you. She gives up. We're done. She leaves the pot. She says, no, I don't want no drama. He puts his gun in his holster, everybody go home. But that's not what happened, unfortunately. And I don't know why she picked the pot up and threw it at these officers. I just don't know why she did it. He's coming closer to get an idea of what she's doing over here. Right, wrong, and different. He's trying to see. She didn't went down to the ground now. He's walking over there to see, what is she doing? Is she giving up, or what is she doing over here? He's just monitoring what she's doing. And when he get close enough, she comes up and throws the pot. I mean, she throws this full pot right here. This is the only part that I'm evaluating for the use of force. The prosecution is going to argue that he had no reason to be in her house in the first place, which I think can be debunked. The prosecution is going to argue that he accelerated the situation instead of de-escalating. He escalated the situation, which they have a good argument that he escalated. The defense is going to say, well, he escalated because she was threatening to throw hot water on these officers. Could they have retreated? Yes, they could have. Or maybe they didn't want to retreat because if she threw it on them while they're trying to get out the door, they get scalding. They'll get scalded with this hot water. So he addressed her, made a threat towards her to deter her from doing what she was going to do. One would argue that wasn't the right approach. Another would argue it would have been the right approach if she didn't come up with the hot water. And so this is the argument that's going to occur in court. What I'm saying is that if the guy is standing right here, regardless of how he got to this point, if he's standing right here and the woman begins to threaten him and he just address her and say, look, don't shoot, you better not, I'll shoot you if you throw that hot water on us in this building, in this house. Okay? You could argue when he should have got there or not, but if you're here already and you're here and you're saying don't do it, she puts her hands up, a reasonable officer will believe that, okay, she's complying with the command I just gave her. It's over. I'm not going to shoot or anything like that. And then she pops up from nowhere and throws the hot water at you. The question would be, is it justified then to engage her with deadly force? And according to the documents, the answer is yes. According to state law, the answer is yes. The only reason he got indicted was because they believed that he put himself in a situation and created a situation that shouldn't have existed. And that's the prosecution's argument. The defense argument is going to be everything was cool. They were trying to help her. They were being kind to her. They had no problems. They had no problems from the couch. They were joking. They had no problems from the kitchen. They had no problems while she was in the kitchen. She was just going to turn the water off and come back and sit down. They were going to finish their business and they were going to leave. Nobody was thinking about shooting anybody or anything violent. It only got violent or got awkward when she started making these threats here at the scene.
Now there was more. That's his brother. He's from Texas. I don't know exactly what city he's in Texas, but he's a police officer, Officer Tatum, and he's giving his view. Now I've heard different officers, even white officers, who debunk what he's saying.
Yeah.
Because your interpretation is this, because I wanted to make a note. If you saw her left arm go up, sure. When he slows it down, because there was some other video, I don't know why I didn't get a chance to download, but there's some other stuff that he showed prior to that. And what was confusing to me, I said, well, was it 2 pots? Because the silver pot she said on the faucet, and it was a red pot that she came up with. So I didn't recall, because the silver pot was the one that was on the stove, and I don't know if that red pot was actually on the floor. But my thing was simply this: when you see her left arm go up, it looks to me like she could hear him coming around.
She said she was sorry,
protecting herself with the pot.
That's when she said she's sorry.
That's how I'm seeing it.
Yeah,
I mean, what
that
was your eyes tell?
That was the point where she was saying she was sorry. He didn't play the audio. She was apologizing at that point, and that bullet went here, downward, back of her neck. So right. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't. Right. He can slow. We can. It's one thing I know we can always do. We can argue both sides of anything, no matter what. He stepped to her. There was no harm. The distance, I would have stood there and say, ma'am, go ahead and throw the water. Like, we 20 feet away. Throw it if you want to. And just step aside, or you know what I'm saying? She probably would have never thrown the water. Before that it even got that far, he was already talking about shooting her in the face. That's the problem I had with it. Yeah. You kind of put it in your mind, I'm gonna shoot you in your face. Now, is that what they teach? They don't even teach shooting in the face in police and law enforcement. They teach body shots, mass upper torso shots. They don't teach
shooting. Yeah, they train to shoot center mass.
Yeah, center mass. Yeah. They don't shoot in the eye. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That language they use is so detailing, because again, he said, I'm going to shoot you in the face, and did exactly what he said he was going to do.
Yeah, there ain't no coincidence.
Somewhere in between that, and it was so profound. A lot of people was talking the spiritual aspect of this thing, because for her to use words like, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, right? Even on the porch was crazy. Yeah, but what's interesting on the porch, when she was saying, oh God, help me, oh God, help me, oh God, help me. Right before they was actually about to leave, they was trying to wrap it up outside. She said, I love you. I don't know. I may have to play that again if I could. She actually says, I love you. And I caught that. Nobody really talked about that. They talked about her in the house, apologizing, saying, I'm sorry. But she actually said on the porch when they was trying to wrap up the investigation that I love you. Now, the video I didn't show, referencing what he was talking about, he said the reason why they stayed was because they have to do a full investigation. They have to do, once they come out, they have to do it, especially if they don't think that a person is in the right state of mind, because if they call 911 again, then they'll have proper information to be able to pass on to the next officer. But with all that's done and said, the simple thing is the police training. Is the police training. And I'm going to go back to what I said a second ago. If you can get certain police officers to go and monitor these high school games or college football games or basketball games or whatever, I think you can have a better percentage of African Americans, maybe from those areas. Like our great friend, Chris Jackson, God rest in peace. We never had a problem with Chris. I used to see Chris, roaming, the area sometime here and there, because Chris knew where to go. He knew the area. He knew how to engage. You don't get officers, man, that's just having bad impulses and bad reflexes like that showing up to the scene. I don't know if you remember Wild several years ago, the guy who mom called the police officers out to the house, and he had a screwdriver. Mm-hmm. And once again, white officers came out to the premises, not understanding that he was a mental individual. Because even in this case, he used the code word 1096. And then he talked about, man, the BITCH was crazy. He didn't show any humane or humanity, no humanitarian work or nothing. It just takes common sense.
It's just decency.
Decency, man.
That's all it is. No matter how much police training they give, a cop like that, it wouldn't matter what kind of training he had. He had it in his heart. He had malice in his heart, and it was only a matter of time. If he didn't shoot her, it would have been another black lady. He pull over on the side of the road or turn his camera off and shoot her and say, "Hey, she, I thought she was gonna hit me with a stick." That kind of stuff. So somebody like him there's no help for people like that. That's just evil right off the jump. And another thing they talked about was usually officers who have these kind of situations or these kind of killings, they always have things in their past that people overlook, and then bam, somebody's dead. It wasn't a coincidence that this was his sixth agency in 4 years. That means something is wrong with you. Like,
right.
They ain't doing their due diligence on just like Chauvin, the one who kneeled on George Floyd's, who killed George Floyd.
Derek Chauvin.
He had several reprimands and you know what I'm saying, write-ups for just complaints about brutality, but they overlook them, man. Ain't no way that dude's supposed to. He had 2 DWIs, Jabril. Yeah, he shouldn't have been on anybody's police force.
Yeah,
and a lot of complaints to go with those. So it's just a matter of that was just an evil dude who it didn't matter what he already had his hand on his gun after them telling her to go and take the pot off the stove. It wouldn't have mattered what she said. It just absolutely ain't no excuse for it. It's wrong. And I be looking for cases where they shooting white women in the face, where they killing white women in the car, accidentally shooting them in their homes. I can't find them. I just can't find them. And you want to say, okay, it happens to everybody. No, it doesn't happen to everybody. It's just mostly us.
Especially in such manners like that. Let me give a shout out to everybody that's coming on to the replay where we're still trying to make your day. We're talking about the Sonya Massey.
That's right.
Yeah, premeditated. Shout out to Sherry. What's up, Sherry? Shout out to Peaches. They're in the house with us. Yeah, we're talking about Sonya Massey, murder or self-defense. I showed the video a second ago from Officer Tatum, who slowed the video down. I usually don't like to repurpose other people's content, but for this particular reason specifically, he slowed the video down. And I knew what he was trying to do because sometime in a court of law, having seen the whole situation personally, I know how they twist and they, use certain words and they mingle and they make it all murky until they cloud it all up and cloud a person's judgment. What we're talking about is even after the shooting, shooting.
Before, during, and after.
Just the whole inhumane that he showed, the disrespect that he showed. And again, I think it was premeditated. I'm gonna tell you something. I know it'll be hard. It'll be very hard to try to get something like this passed or bill or whatever. But I'm thinking when you have malicious intent like that, when it's just that blatant like that, hey man, I'm telling you, I think the death penalty should be on the table. Now I know a lot of people will have a problem with that because these people are sworn to so-called protect and serve. Now I should have posted another video from another police officer, African-American brother, who was talking about this particular situation, and he was very, very hurt behind. He said, because this is the kind of stuff that sets us back. He said, even though it happened in Springfield, Illinois, this happens around the country. This is why people view us. And the good police officers, they get caught up with the bad police officer. And what's so crazy, honestly, if I'm really thinking about it, you may have, and I know it's a smaller percentage of rogue police officers, but nevertheless, that percentages really it maximizes and engulfs all of the, even if the percentage was higher with good officers or better officers, it's like the small percentage, it engulfs and makes and supersedes the good officers. And my thing is, like you said, DA, why are you all hiring these individuals with these backgrounds? Now it's been said his wife, father, I think is a police officer, something to this effect. Somebody posted a video and said that, now this was a little bit of a conspiracy, but because he couldn't make the connection, that she worked at some type of health mental place and was supposed to have known Sonya Massey, right? They kind of trying to tie something in, but didn't have all of the facts. So I couldn't go with that because I'm wondering, because the way you came up there, and then when you were in the house, and it's interesting to me that when you see his police partner coming from around the house, I don't know what he said to get in the house because you can't hear that part because I think his body camera was off at that point because I haven't seen any. Now, if it is, I hope that somebody showed it and posted or whatever because on his body cam, it doesn't, you can't, they haven't shown, let me put it like that. The conversation that he was having with her on the porch while his partner was searching the house on the side and was coming back. When he circled back around, that's when he started walking off. Former Officer Sean Grayson walked into the house. I don't know what he said to her for her to be invited to come on in, but it was kind of like one of those things when he was pointing to him to say, go to the kitchen and check on the water. And then they looking in the bedroom. Something changed. That dynamic changed. It went from her calling them to the residence,
her being the suspect.
Yeah, becoming like she was the one that was out there. Yeah, suspect. She became a suspect.
Yeah.
And this is horrible policing on all levels. And this
horrible. It's the worst I've ever seen.
They have to have some bills, man, that are passed to where you have to have, like they be talking about a jury of your peers. Let me tell you something. I told them, I said this too, D. I said, yeah, the jury of my peers, the jury of my peers, they know where I grew up at. The jury of my peers, they know where I went to high school at. The jury of my peers know, where I played college ball at. I don't know these people that y'all so-called sent these requests to come out for jury duty in these rural areas and far north Dallas areas or way up in Frisco. So I don't know them people. You see what I'm saying? So you saying that they're a jury of my peers? No, they not. No, they not. So just like these police officers are not a jury who can come around and police my community because they don't have the temperament. They come out there already afraid. They come out there, and in this case, it's no way he can use anything about fear. Fear what?
Fear
what do you
what?
fear? You fear a 5'1", 5'2", 110-pound black woman. You fear some water that you can easily. Come on, man.
He's way too far away to be worried about water, bro. A pot of water. You can't. I mean, come on, everybody. You just got to use your common sense. It's the fact that he was demonic. She sensed it. I could sense it when he first said, "You coming to the door? What? Oh, it's the sheriff department, the ones that you call." Right then, you could feel his energy right there. He had bad energy going to the house. So somebody like that, if it wasn't her, it would have been somebody else soon. Just a matter of time. He was just that kind of person. He's that. I mean, and you'd be surprised, man, at how many people just don't have any regard for our lives. I mean, and that's gonna always be like that. I remember we used to say growing up, well, all of the races and the biggest, they're gonna die off soon. They don't die off. They teach it. They pass it down. They just like they would pass down a watch or a bracelet. They pass those thoughts down. The kids watch them interact with us, and that's where they get it from. So it doesn't die off. It's part of.
You kind of froze just a little bit, but let me read what Sherry, she shout out. She said, "When does I rebuke you in the name of Jesus become a threat?"
Yeah, he took that as a threat.
Yeah, but and I'm gonna tell you something about the demonic spirit, right?
He was offended by that.
No, he was offended, absolutely, because of the demonic spirit. We know that the Shaitan or his tribe, they whisper, right? Like it's a whisper, then he runs away like a coward. So that spirit that was residing in him, she felt that presence, and it came out, and so she identified that spirit, man, because for him to interpret that somewhere, and I guarantee, like you just said, DA, somewhere in his childhood, he must have been oppressed somewhere in church, somewhere where he misinterpreted something. His connection with the word that she said was almost like to say, like with boiling water, and maybe he got baptized, or was trying to get baptized and got hit on the water too long.
Or thought he was about to be exorcised. Or thought he was about to go on an exorcism.
Yeah. I mean, because when she said that, it brought something out of him. It definitely brought, because he went from, he accelerated. He went from 0 to 60, man, like a Bugatti. And when you start gripping your gun, now you're in a Weaver stance, and now you making a threat, and then to have such brazen boldness to be able to say what he said and then carry it out. That's execution style, man. That's execution.
Yes.
And I just don't see how, no matter what the defense try to argue, oh, well, did you feel threatened? Did you feel, fearful when the water was coming toward? Look, you can interpret how you want to interpret. Like I say, slow it down all you want to. You can say she made a forward, upward. But I also see if somebody's gonna take boiling
he came
water,
over the counter with a gun.
But then think about this too, though, because they say that the pot sitting on the stove supposed to have been boiling water or full of water. Now I think it was 2 pots. I got to go back and really look at this because when you see the video clearly, let me see if I can play it again. She's taking it off the stove. She places it by the sink, and the pot is still there. And when she cowers down to the floor, is when she come up. I think it's this red pot that was sitting on the floor. But if that was the case, let me hold on for a second. If that's the case, if the water is full, or if it's water, as they say, because he showed the steam when he stole, we didn't get to that part, but you can see steam coming out the floor. But it just seemed like, I would have to have both hands on that pot to throw it, because it's heavy. Water is heavy. So I want to play this video again because
I just want to clarify that and make sure it's clear.
Jabril, she was trying to keep him getting shot.
The officer's decorum and after what he said after the shooting was good. I think it was terrible. And now my only judgment was this.
And watch this.
If a person is making a threatening motion to potentially throw hot water,
I just want to pay attention.
They could retreat.
When he rolls this,
but then it gets dicey because if she got the pot and she got her mom made up, she gonna douse you with it, and you go turn to try to run out of the door, and she run and throw that hot water on you. I mean, that's gonna be, and both of these big dudes trying to go through the front door. You can end up getting hurt. And look, we don't want to in the first place, which I think can be
okay.
debated.
You see her left hand.
Is going to argue.
Her left hand is up, like covering her face.
The situation instead of de-escalating.
Her left hand right here.
The situation.
Well,
which
putting
they
the
have an
arrow.
argument that he escalated. The defense is going to say, well, he escalated because she was threatening.
The thing is, in my estimation, she has her left hand up, and she has a pot in this hand. And I think the movement was her trying to, because she don't know what he's about to do.
Keep from getting shot.
Yeah, man.
He had the gun on. He was like, she felt like he wanted to shoot her. I guarantee she felt like he wanted to shoot her. How is she a threat if she ducked down and all she got is a pot? How is she a threat? You went toward her to get a better shot. He was ready to shoot her, man. That's
in any sudden, because she's fearing for her life. Any sudden movement, he was gonna shoot her regardless. His intent after he drew his weapon was to shoot that woman, man.
Yeah. You know what is not exactly like, but you know what is sort of kin to. I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but when a policeman or anybody is getting choked, your body naturally takes over and fights to try to stay alive. You can't choke, you can't be choking nobody and be saying be calm and be still, and your body is not gonna let anybody just choke you without at least trying to fight to save itself. So when when they're bending your arm out, your body is reacting like, no, your body is saying this is not right. We gotta find some easement. We need to find some. So when police are choking people, saying, oh, he won't be still, like he had his knee on George Floyd's neck, his body is trying to live. Like nobody's ever gonna just be still while you choke them out. Your body won't allow you to do that. So it's kind of like this lady is fearing for her life. Her reflexes were like, he's trying to shoot me. She wasn't trying to hurt him. She had already ducked down, went to the ground. It wasn't no shots fired. At that point, it should have been over. They should have just went around and said, Like, what's going on? Hey, ma'am, please just step away from that. Man, that situation could have been handled 100 different ways, and that lady still went to bed after having her dinner that night. It's just no reason.
I totally agree. I totally agree. It could have been handled in so many different ways, but it goes back to this predisposed disposition that a lot of these white officers have. You know, if I'm sitting here talking about, and I started to put up some of my situations, DA, I'm telling you, man, this was, and I hadn't talked about it too much to many people, but this just occurred, man, back in November. Tim know about it. You know, I had a run-in with a Dallas police officer, and I'm thinking about, you know, you could be talking about your rights. You could be talking about
it don't matter.
And man, let me tell you something. You wind up dead, be dead anyway.
Anyway.
You see what I'm saying?
And they deal with it later.
And just because, and they sit there and they profile us, man, and don't know because if you in a certain red line area, see, we know how to walk in Oak Cliff. We know where to go in Oak Cliff. We know Singing Hills. We know the Highland Hills. We know the areas. We know when it takes a, you know, takes from an affluent area to a middle class area to a lower middle class to the bottom. You know what I'm saying? And when you get these police officers, man, who do not understand these areas, and you try to justify it by, well, it's police work and we just can't, you know, yeah, you can, because I can tell you right now, believe it or not, just do a little Amazon sometimes. You know, when I do Amazon sometime, man, when my brother and I had a trucking company, I've been to places where that's one thing I say, man, you know, this is the benefit I get out of it. Because I can look and see, man, the stuff that I was like, oh, this is how they living? Oh, this is what they doing? Oh, they got an HOA that you can't sell to us. You see what I'm saying? They sitting way back up in the privacy, and you best believe them little old sheriff cars and all that, man. It's police in their community and stuff like that. You don't see no African Americans in those communities, man. You won't see them over there in Highland Park.
Those are sundown towns.
Yeah, man.
So by sundown.
You can't convince me. You cannot convince me to tell me that you can't get a larger percentage of African Americans, man, that'll come in and do a much better job that knows that area. I just don't believe it.
I've always advocated for black people to be police officers. I ain't never been the one to say, nah, we don't need to be no pigs. And no, we do. We need our colored people who understand us in our communities more. That's just a given in the black community. You got to have somebody who understands the lingo, you know, how we are. I mean, you ain't going to always be able to get that, but it's always better when you have it. When you have somebody who just knows, like, who's a threat, who's not a threat. And any black officer in the world would have went in that situation and known this lady ain't no threat. I don't agree. First of all, we told her to go and take the pot off the stove. It ain't like she said, let me go back here and get this pot. You know, what backed up and just, hey, what are you doing? No, you told her to go get the pot off the stove. So her intent wasn't to go get the pot and come and dash you with the water. No, you just told her to take the pot off the stove. When she said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, is when it all went left. That's when he got irritated. His soul was vexed. And he said, and the demons took over inside of him. And they shot him, they both knew it was wrong, because that's why they kept saying, you know, they knew it was wrong. And then he had to say, nah, let me go back to demonic mode. I got to justify this. No, we good. Yeah, well, I wasn't taking no hot water to the face. Well, why you go put your face, you know, why did you go closer? If you were worried about the hot water, you got a gun, why are you going closer? All you had to do was step back, step around. He could have stepped, Jabril. He could have stepped on the side and saw her. He didn't have to, with his gun point down and just fire at her like that, man. He wasn't worried about no water.
No, he wasn't. That was just the agitation part.
And his camera was never on.
Nah, even right here on the video we showed earlier, he began to, you know, get agitated. You know, well, hurry up.
The camera never on. No footage from his camera.
All right, hurry up.
That's his partner's. You know, if there is a theory regarding his wife working at this mental thing and supposed to know her, I just want to know, because again, his partner his partner's not really saying a whole lot. He just
Man,
putting
you can tell who the senior on the scene is. You can tell the other officers taking commands from him. He's the big bad wolf.
yeah.
Sheriff's office.
The other officers doing all the work. He's, you know what I'm saying? He's got to like conform. When you get a dirty senior officer, those other officers sometimes conform to that.
I mean, there's not much we can do. We can at least try and stop the blood.
Man, I
Yeah, his
can't
partner
watch
knew
it.
that he messed up, man.
Even though it's blurred, man, I can't watch it.
I know it's just
Man, he shot that woman in the face, man.
it's just a tragedy on all levels. It's definitely a tragedy on all levels, and you know my heart goes out to the Massey family, man. They had the autopsy report that came back, and of course, attorney Ben Crump explained that. Here you have a 36-year-old young mother of two who was just having a little issues, what she hadn't really, may have not taken her meds. And she said some things where common sense as a police officer, just common sense should have told you.
Decency.
You know what I'm saying? Common sense should have just told you that this is a disturbed individual. Let me handle this like a package. You get a package, man, and it got fragile written on it. The first thing you start to do is start to kind of pick the content up, but you're handling that package real careful. That's situations like that. Automatically, if you think that she's a 1096, she has a mental condition or something, automatically I'm already calming myself down because I know I got to handle this situation with care. I got to handle this. She's fragile. She's going through something, and it sounds like, when he started having this conversation, he was trying to get the information from her and then be on their way. But again, she woke that spirit up in him that was already residing in him. Yeah, because I guarantee you, he probably one of those individuals, one of those undercover supremacists who goes out there to those secret orders and stuff like that, man, and have a kumbaya moment reminiscing on the past.
Jabril, that's
like I said,
that's think about it, man. Law enforcement is one of the few jobs where if you're a white supremacist or a bigot, that's one of the few jobs that you can probably get to shoot somebody and get away with it. Like that's where you can show your hatred for other.
But DA, check this out though. I don't know why the target. This is another thing, but I don't know why the target has always have to been black anyway. They can sit here and talk about, well, black is better when it's on the back of a white. So, hey man, I can hit green, blue. I can hit red, I can hit yellow, I can hit blue. Yeah, and if you make the background white, black, and make the target white,
that's even better.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Where I go is green.
It's okay. And so it's one of those things, man, where if you want to make some changes, you can make some changes. Because we know the history of this country. We know how policing even got started in the first place. It was really to protect their commercial interests, their property, their commodity. That's how policing got started. Then they wrote out all these acts. Congress wrote them out, like the 1850 Fugitive Act, so on and so forth. You understand? So we understand the whole history of how they was trying to police this thing. That's where it comes from. The word sheriff actually derives from the word sharif. And when you look at the word sharif, understand the etymology of that word. That goes all the way back to the whole Judaism, the word sharif. You heard this in Robin Hood, sharif. It's all the 6-pointed star. They put that on the side of police automobile. There's a lot of history, man, that people got to research so they have a better understanding of where we are, man. And I just think, I got to say this, man. There was a time when I thought growing up, when you really didn't fully have an understanding that integration was something that was needed, right? But time and time again,
nope.
My outlook on
It was-
that is starting to change because, man, listen, man, when we was doing our own thing, when we was doing Black Wall Street, when we was doing our own thing, man, we was able to, we could protect our own cities. We can protect our own towns. They came and got us to help them fight their wars and their battles. But you look at everybody else, the foreign, like I did, I got something I did in the neighborhood. I would have shown it tonight. I'm gonna wait on this, the culture part of it. But I just went around and I did a couple of videos just in our community. Because I'm looking at the money that does not stay within our community, but yet we complain about so much and don't really understand what's really happening, what's really going on. But those are atrocities, man, on a whole nother level that we could talk about, DA. But man, I just had to finally let the replay come on and address this situation because we know it happened a while ago and everybody was talking about it this past week, and we'll continue to talk about it because I think there are going to be some more marching that they're going to be doing and more information is coming out. And
man, I don't know what the marching is about, but okay. Like, I mean, my last statement is, at what point are we going to pull up on the right people? I'm tired of us pulling up on each other, pulling up in our community, shooting up everybody, innocent kids getting killed, innocent bystanders, we gunning down. At what point are we going to pull up on people like him? Like, not after. It's like I don't know where he is, but if we're gonna march, let's march to wherever he is and have him to come out or whatever. I'm tired of us marching. What are we gonna get out of marching? They already got rid of the dude. He's already been charged. What are you marching for? Find him. March to his house. Next time.
There was a time when a black man couldn't get any justice. They would go to the jailhouse and pull you out the jailhouse and then get a rope and hang you up in the middle of the street. Now, I get what you're saying fully, man. When, like I said, I like what's the verse Ice Cube said had in his song? He said, "If all that's singing, I'm gonna be too busy swinging." It's almost to a point where it's kind of like, if we don't start, man, we was really successful, like in the 1955 boycott of Montgomery, Alabama, because we hit them in the nerve, we hit them in the pocket. That's the only thing they really understand.
We ain't got that
in the pocket, and the way you do that is coming out and detaching yourself. And that's pretty much what I've been preaching on, even when we had our conversation, our dialogue, and sometimes it could be misunderstood, but I have to come back and with clarity to understand, like, no, what I be talking about is, I'm like, get rid of the whole damn thing, because I think it's insanity. I truly think it's insanity now. And it ain't kill me with this, the lesser of the evil. I'm saying it's all evil. How can you minimize something, but you say it's less evil? It's all evil. Bring it. I mean, look, man. We can do this by ourselves, man. We can definitely do this by ourselves.
Only problem is we ain't them. We ain't got that in us like we used to have. People are comfortable. People enjoy going to eat crab legs and going to brunches and cigar lounges. Ain't nobody got no fight in them no more like that. It ain't. We way past that.
Hey, listen, DA, we done took our shoes off and walked in the grass. We done seen the other side. And the unification, the unity. But they understand that more than anything. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something, man, because and this is a shout out to our Hispanic brothers and sisters, because I look at things that some people probably don't even see, and it ain't just happening, bro. I'm over in way out. We talking Crowley, Texas now, right? And I'm over there off Preston, and I'm looking at construction going up, and I'm looking at who's doing it all, and I'm looking at I said, they always been here, because we gotta understand, we invaded their territory, not the other way around.
Yeah,
the Guadalupe Treaty is the one that divided up the Rio Grande. You see what I'm saying? It's a lot. So it's like almost like ants, man. You keep coming and keep building, keep unifying. So when they get LULAC, the NAACP was our equivalent, or is their equivalent to their LULAC. Mm-hmm. So they understand what's going on, but they working quietly.
They together.
Yeah, man, the unity, man. And I see it so crystal clear, DA. It's so crystal clear.
Man, our people are sick, man.
But they done once again. See, I know All you gotta do is give them a song and a dance.
That's it.
Just cut the music on and throw a party. You got them every single time. You know, it's like the brother was telling me, man, inside the walls. He said, man, they was on a strike and they was striking too, man. They said the strike won 24 hours, man, and they smelled some chicken. Well, they say they was striking and they started frying some chicken the next day. They said all them cats, man, broke rank. All of them broke rank, man. they smell that chicken, man. They say, man, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna end this boycott, man. So again, man, they know how to play us, man. And we're in 2024.
They know we ain't gonna do nothing. The world has finally come to a conclusion that we're not gonna do nothing that's about anything. Like you can tell me, I can just say,
that's
hey,
right,
man, you can just tell me, hey, we ain't doing this no more, or we ain't spending our money with these people no more. I'd be like, okay, cool. We ain't doing that no more. I'm with it, no matter what it was. I boycott myself. If I go into a Mexican restaurant and they don't have no black people in there working, they don't get my money no more. Y'all ain't speaking Spanish in here. Y'all ain't hiring no black people. I don't come back here. I don't care if this is a family establishment. You ain't gonna get my money and you won't hire us. So I'm down with the boycott, but most of us are not. We ain't finna boycott nothing. We got it too easy now. Days are gone.
Yeah, well, I agree with Sherry. When Sherry say the monkey dance, we'll monkey dance for anything. You ain't lying. Man, all you gotta do is cut the music on and bring out a few cigars and a paint or something, man. And we
don't put no crab legs on that table. It's a wrap.
Oh man, that's what you man. Come on,
it's a wrap,
man. Come on, man. But yeah, for those y'all still coming on, this is the Replay Sports Culture Show. I'm your host Jabril Rashad, my co-host DA TJ. He's with his children this evening. I shouldn't probably put his business out there, but he's a great father to his kids right now. So we had a little mini vacation last week, so we back on live. We're talking about the Sonya Massey murder execution. And I had it the topic again, murder or self-defense, only because this officer Tatum, he purposed his content and was talking about how it would play out in a court. And I said, well, it's all, in the eye of the beholder. You interpret it one way and I interpret another way. I think she was trying to put the pot up to defend herself, not knowing what he was about to do. And probably having some history too, understanding what the police officers have done. That's why she was able to shout out real quick.
She was down behind the sink, man. She was down.
Yeah, she cowered down. She cowered down.
And he was like, no, I'm coming for you.
Yeah, hoping that she probably had something. Yeah, she cowered down, man. And knowing the history, you got Chicago, man, and all the stuff we hear about Chicago, what have you. But this is outside of Chicago, Springfield, Illinois. But nevertheless, you hear about the police shooting, and I know something triggered her mind. That's why she yelled out, I'm sorry. She knew whatever it is, I triggered something in him for him to draw his weapon. She didn't know what to do. He supposed to have the training to know what to do. And what he should have done was de-escalated. So he's guilty. In my estimation, he's guilty. And I'm telling you something, the same thing Derek Chauvin got when he got to prison. Your brother's gonna take care of him. Because I don't know, I don't know if he got stabbed up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one brother, he got stabbed up when he got in prison. So I'm gonna tell you right now, man. That environment is no joke, bro. It ain't what people think. You survive that environment, man. You either down with a group or you really a church house mouse. Because I'm gonna tell you, individuals like that, man. I'm telling you, man. They gonna from the day he go inside, they gonna mark him, man. That's the one. That's the one.
Yeah.
And them cats out of Chicago, you got the Peace Stone Rangers, man. You still got gang members in there. So he gonna have a whole lot to deal with, but they gonna try their best to muddy up the waters. I can see it coming, man.
Yeah, that's their job.
Muddy up the waters.
Yeah, that's their job to do.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're gonna try to do. Well, DA, man, like I say, man, we had to jump on here this evening and talk about this tragedy, man. And it was definitely a travesty on all levels. He's gonna definitely try to say that he was in fear of his life. I don't even understand. I don't even want to talk about that no more. It just does not make sense. Let me read this last comment, man, before we have to close out the show this evening. Let me see who. Okay, this is Sherry again. Peaches Hollis. Let me see. Peachy got some emojis up. Let me see what she's saying. So she just laughing at probably what I say. Peachy. Let me see what Sherry's talking. Yeah, it says they please handle him inside. I know that's right, Sherry. Yeah, they gonna do that. He gonna get that work. Unless they isolate him, they won't put him in general population or something like that. But yeah, he has no defense, man. They're gonna have a bunch of lies that they're gonna try to create. I can already see it coming. So I'm already saying he's guilty on all accounts. 3 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of aggravated battery weapon. I forget another count. So absolutely. But y'all, I want to thank y'all for joining us. This has been another edition of the replay where we're still trying to make your day. Please don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and share a notification button. Please let your friends know. Tell a friend. We got the Olympics starting up. I'm going to come back with the Conference USA deal that we had. We're coming back strong this fall with our student athletes. Trying to do a lot of stuff, man. I'm working from behind the scenes. But we still here, y'all. We ain't went nowhere. We still moving. We ain't going nowhere. We here. Yeah, you got any shout outs you want to give real quick, my brother?
I want to shout out, man, I forget the name of this guy. Can't think of his name, but there's a guy that we met at a basketball tournament. Started a GoFundMe for us for $40,000 to purchase a van. He started it, and he lives like somewhere else, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna help y'all get a van." I was so impressed. I can't think of his name right off the bat, but
all right, we're gonna get it again. I want you to hold on. Remember that, because when we start talking about the I am student part of it, we gonna give everybody the proper due, man. Because we need to start shouting these guys. A lot of guys who people don't even know that does so much in the community, man.
Yeah.
So again, I want to thank y'all for jumping on with us. We'll be back, hopefully, God willing. Maybe Thursday. If we don't get on Thursday, y'all, we're gonna try to run it from Tuesday to Thursday. Now, I want to make sure everybody aware of that, because on Tuesdays, football season ready to start up, so we try to do it on Monday night so we can have something to talk about. But again, y'all, hit the like, subscribe, and share button notification so you'll know when we're going on live. And again, thank y'all for joining us, talking about the Sonya Massey murder. So we don't rule out the self-defense. But good night, good evening, and y'all be safe. Please be safe. Please be safe, and always keep God number one.